There you
Good morning, everybody. It's sad morning this morning. And unfortunately, we lost Dave, as everybody knows, on the weekend. And Dave's passion was to get this Bandshell built in Lynn in memory of his wife, Cheryl. But he was on Saturday, he ended up at the Rockwood General Hospital, and he came home, and on Sunday he passed away around 1:30 p.m. He did enjoy watching the baseball game on Saturday night, because that was his big thing to get home in time for it. So he did that, and he was sitting in his big chair watching it when I left him on Saturday night watching the Jays game. So our condolences to Dave's family, Paul, and the extended Mitchell family on behalf of everybody around the table today here, the committee. And as I say, we will move forward in getting this completed in memory of Cheryl and Dave. So, call to order, a roll call. I think everybody is here. I get no regrets that we're aware of, so it's good. The adoption of the agenda, everybody has had a chance to look at the agenda for today, and we need a motion to accept that, please. Jim, thank you. Second? Yeah, thank you. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? Okay, thank you. Any disclosure of interest today? Looking around the table, none. Thank you. We move on. The adoption of the minutes for the Lynn Bandshell Ad Hoc Committee minutes dated October the 4th. Everybody has looked at that, and sorry, go ahead, Rob.
Sorry, just
Yes, sorry.
some clarification. So we do have our staff here. I should introduce our staff. We have our Director of Finance, Charles Dadwall, and welcome, Charles, to your first committee meeting.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to be working with you with this project. And also we have our building inspector, Jason Meyer, and Deputy Clerk, Laura Stanzel.
Great, thank you, and welcome. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. So the adoption of the minutes from October the 14th meeting. Do we have a motion for that, please? Rob, second. Jim, any discussion on the motion? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Items of discussion. Today we have staff reports, so we'll move right into 5.1, which is the budget. So it's your opportunity. You're up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My intent today is just to seek some clarifications from the committee by way of a brief summary. At prior council meeting, the resolution was brought forward by Councillor Smith for myself to investigate various forms of grant funding to facilitate any differential, shall we say, in monies available to complete the Lynn Bandshell as this committee intends. Having said that, I have had multiple discussions, and we will be proceeding with grant applications, but it'll be, as I refer to it from the financing world, in a lasagna format. It'll be 3 applications that we've identified, and quite frankly, we are going through private foundations. And what we find with private foundations, as opposed to going through typical government administrations, we'll leave it at that, is with the foundations, there is less reporting requirements, etc. And the application process is much more efficient with a faster turnaround. So typically with any public administration where you're applying for grant funding, as I'm sure members around the table are very well aware from their respective positions, even if you're requesting $5,000 or $10,000, it can take up to 6 months before you get an answer and a response. With the private foundations, once the application is filed, if you're approved, you're notified of that approval within 30 days. So it's very fast track, and you're dealing with one portal as opposed to multiple if it's a public administration. So we are working on that, and my marching order, so to speak, is on a very tight timeline, because our goal is to have this secured prior to the 2026 budget. So my intent in attending this morning, not only to introduce myself formally and get to know all of you as a committee, but seeking some clarifications just for my purpose on the grant funding. So the original budget established was $80,000, and my colleague to my left, Jason, our building facilities manager, has put together a more detailed costing, which we have requested for. And the costing, and Jason may speak to this, is $60,479 plus HST, which is approximately $70,000. However, what that does not include, that's the actual construction. We also have to take into consideration there'll be costs with landscaping. There will be costs with stone or bricks that in a design, recognizing donors, etc. So I think it's very safe, and I'd like to be higher, not lower. And if the money's not required, that's fine. But including HST with the estimates my colleague Jason has provided, and if we take into account the landscaping and the brick, I'm suggesting that we should consider a budget of approximately $100,000. And that gives us approximately $30,000 on the landscaping and on the stonework. There is approximately $45,000 that is already there through donations, etc. And some of the expenses will have a contribution in kind, where some of that will be donated, but for the purposes of the applications, if that comes through, that's great. But I'm very conservative. I'd rather assume that those contributions don't come through. If they come through, even better. So just so I understand, if I take into account what I'm proposing, and I'm looking for the committee for guidance if I'm making incorrect assumptions here, I'm suggesting that the total amount of grant funding in total that I will be soliciting is $55,000, which I'm taking that $100,000 cost benchmark, as I've just outlined, less the I say approximately $45,000 that is there. So I'm looking at grant funding through 3 sources for a total of $55,000. So I just, for 2026 budgeting purposes, I just wanted to put that forward in front of the committee just to ensure I'm on the right track with my numbers. And as we're now going into 2026 budgeting, that I'm putting that placeholder in here that the cost, although 2025 is 80, I'm going to place that as $100,000 in the 2026 budget for deliberations. So I look to the committee members for input, discussion, clarification or correction of anything I've just outlined, which I'm happy to receive.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. It's a great guideline, and thank you so much for that. And I think, not being a finance person or anything, but I think you're hitting it pretty good on what you're telling us, and no better person to tell us than yourself, who's been there and did this before and so forth. And I agree 100%.
Yeah. Well, the rest of the committee speak first before I comment. Any comments?
Any comments?
Sure. Can you just help me get from the funny? So the landscaping, it's really flat over there. So I don't see a big cost there. So from the 80,000 to 100,000, can you help us what those extras will be again? Because
So-
the HST won't be in that range.
Right. So through the chair to yourself, Mr. Morrison, the difference between, it's actually 70, the budget is 80, but taking it to 100 is not only the landscaping, which we don't know the cost. I'm putting that additional 20 for the landscaping and for stonework. For what I understood was that there was a plan, or there is a plan to have stonework that would honor donors, and again, don't know the cost of that, Mr. Morrison. As I said, I'm purposely being higher than lower. The other thing too to include in that is somewhat of a contingency, that even though if the costs come in, for example, on what I've just mentioned, the landscaping, etc., that it now becomes, it's only, we're saying 20, but we think it's only 12. And then when no pun intended, when pavement hits the pavement and we find out that there's a price adjustment for whatever reason, then we have a bit of a contingency there as well.
Okay, the stonework, it was my understanding that that was more of a fundraiser. And majority of those bricks were going to be paid for before they were installed. So it'd be on it, oh, I suppose that's on the capital.
Mhm.
The budget's not in these numbers of the 51,000. Any stones that have been purchased aren't in this number. Is
Correct.
that correct?
That is correct.
In the 51,000, they're not in there.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
So it's the cost number that you're saying.
Correct.
There'll be a subcategory for the related purchases of those things by individuals.
That is correct, Mr. Morrison.
Okay. Thank you.
And the installation of the stone and stuff like that too. We didn't include that, so yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I think
So-
too, we need to be aware of the fact that, we're coming up to a new year. And those costs that Jason has listed here, they can be increasing. Price of gas is going up, price of lumber, everything like that. So it's good to have that constituency in there.
That little pocket, yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
So, I agree that it's always nice to, look at the higher number and not the lower number, because you never know what may happen, during the project. Also, as an FYI for our Director of Finance, there's a $40,000 into I'll call it capital reserve for this, Bandshell, if needed to be drawn from. So, yeah, as far as our fundraising goes, yes, we're at the 51,000 ourselves, and we know there's probably going to be more money coming. So, and I agree, that's part of the reason why I put it through a resolution to staff to investigate the idea of grants. See if there's any funding out there. It's always a bonus to have that funding if we can get our hands onto it. And he's not wrong when he says you have to go through the government. You might be waiting a long time. So anyways, yes, I agree, go with the private funding, and whatever sources we can get funding from would be much appreciated. But I just wanted to, give you an update on that.
Thank you. Any further discussion on that? So have you got the answers, or are you okay with?
Yes, through yourself, Mr. Chair, and to the committee. Yeah, thank you. I do have the clarifications I was seeking. Just for information purposes, I actually have follow-up meetings on Thursday of this week, which is the 6th of November, with the 3 private foundations individually. And I purposely set it that way to come after this. So I had the clarifications I needed so I could have an intelligent discussion with them.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for
Thank you.
acting on it so quickly and so forth, and good luck.
Thank you.
Just one question.
Yes.
So we do have a separate line item, correct, Director, for this Bandshell project in the budget, right?
Through the chair to Councillor Smith. Yes, we do have a separate line item. It is actually recorded in the departmental budget of recreation, and I have no problem for the record giving it to you. That the Lynn Bandshell is under category 915 within the recreational departmental budget.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Well, thank you so much again. We'll move on to 5.2 fundraising. I see we've got an updated list of $51,003.29 so far, which is great. And we can't stop now. We have to keep plugging away and keep going back and checking on people that we have talked to before and dropped off some raffles too. So we'll do some follow-up on that, and hopefully, I can see this increasing from what I've been told from some people, but they just haven't got to it yet, so we're hoping for that. Anything further on the fundraising? We'll keep at it.
Just before we move on to that, I just want to thank Ray for having the trees trimmed in the park. That makes a huge improvement altogether in that whole area. So thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Thanks. Very good. All right, updates from staff. Jason, you're up.
He's smiling. I'm a phone call away from getting started. The contractors are all on board for this fall for the concrete and the excavation work. And I'm just waiting for that first phone call that we're gonna show up tomorrow.
Good.
So these are the estimates we have.
Yep.
I've reached out to a few other carpenters as well. I've received one quote for the carpentry work to erect the structure itself. I haven't received more than the one, so I'm hoping to receive a few more so we can decide on who we're gonna have to build it, construct it.
Right.
But as of that, let's get the concrete in and
Yep.
get the excavation work done and get that sidewalk poured.
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Dave would be happy to hear that. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
So thank you. And I'll relay all that information to Paul, to his son Paul,
Wonderful.
when I'm talking with him. All right, any other business that we have this morning? No? No? Gotta get Councilor Smith out of here quick, I guess. And there's no public question period, because there's no public here, so, yes, Jason?
On Charles's comment earlier, with the amount of stones that we do sell or do not sell, we should start looking into a plan of how we're going to landscape the area and how we want to interconnect those areas. For if we have so many donated stones and we need X amount more to complete, we may start thinking about how we actually do want to landscape and pave that area around the Bandshell.
On the bench. Yes,
So on that note, I would suggest once we have the construction of the concrete pad and bandshell floor and everything is all complete, then we have a better visual aspect of distance and how much space there is that we should be considering for coverage for stones.
Yes. Yeah. And on that note, with the excavation taking place in the backfill, if we have a generalized plan, instead of if it's an extra load of stone or gravel, we can place it instead of moving the dirt back back and forth.
Mhm.
So we kind of prepare for it as we're constructing it.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds great. Okay. Next meeting,
Sorry, December 2nd is Tuesday.
December 2nd.
December 2nd?
Yeah,
I'm
sorry, I didn't mean to butter. December 2nd is the next.
Okay, great. December 2nd, next meeting. So I'll ask for a motion for adjournment.
Just
Yes, sorry.
for the next meeting, how fast do you think the cement work might happen? Before December 2nd?
I'm hoping, yes.
And so I'm wondering if we
Meet there?
say December 2nd, or have to call the chair.
Yeah.
If the stone happens first.
Yeah.
And then we do it the last week of November, just get as much as we can do before freeze up. Decided. Because otherwise, we may meet there, because we might be walking around in snowbanks on December 2nd.
Ray.
I'm not a kid anymore, don't need that stuff.
Yes.
Can we keep the meetings as this meeting came about if something does come up? Or if I have a
Then we can
schedule,
adjust it.
we can adjust it and I can reach out to Laura and she can let everybody know. That way, if it does start within a week or two, we can meet sooner.
Yeah,
Sure.
But
Good with that, Ray?
if they're happy on site, for sure.
Yeah,
It's for an on-site. yeah.
yes, we'll have it on site.
Right?
I'm bringing a portable heater this year.
Hot chocolate, Laura, yeah.
I'll stock it for these.
Okay, so we had a mover for adjournment. I think it was Jim. Okay. Good. December 2nd or before. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're on the top pretty well.